Hey everybody, I'm Gordon,
I'm Kevin.
and welcome to hashtag 15 years, or as we like to call it,
Wayne's World for the end of the world.
Wayne's World, end of the world. The only online show with all the news, analysis, sports, and lifestyle tips that the harried, postmodern, socially conscious individual needs to deal with the 21st century apocalypse.
And weather.
Oh boy, we got weather, Kevin. But tell me, why the name hashtag 15 years?
Well, like you, we're very concerned. We read a lot of the news about climate change. There's a very respected climate scientist from the University of Arizona.
Not the University of Phoenix.
University of Arizona, named Guy McPherson,
Right.
who has identified all kinds of 40 self-reinforcing positive feedback loops, which are not positive.
Bad news.
And he thinks humanity may only have 15 years left.
Whoa.
So we figured, if that's really true, if we only have 15 years left, why not do a show?
Except it kind of took us 9 months to get this together, so really now it's kind of 14 years. Sorry about that.
So anyway, as we look forward to the next 15 years,
14 years, yeah.
We figured why not? Let's imbue the spirit that we have in terms of our love for the planet and each other into a show.
And why not say whatever the fuck we want, have a little fun with this big cosmic joke we're playing on ourselves, right, Kev?
Yes, and the thing is, whether it's 15 years or 50 or 500, we need to be treating each other with more love and respect and treating the planet with more love and respect. So we hope to bring perspectives on that for you.
Word, right on. So in any event, welcome again to hashtag 15 years. Stay with us as long as you can. And now for our next segment, Climate Change News of the Week. Take it away, Kevin.
And now it's time for Climate Change News of the Week here on hashtag 15 years. And to help us make sense of the news is Gordon and the Despairometer 2030.
Hi everyone, that's actually the patented Despairometer 2030. And as you can see, it gives us a wide range of possibilities, all the way from the baseline of bad to we're all gonna die.
Let's
Kevin?
get right to the headlines. Greenland was hotter than New York City last week.
That's a pretty bad one. That's bad than usual, so the Despairometer is telling us that is worse. We're at a setting of worse. Kevin, what do you think?
Well, it's not like, what are you going to do? Is everybody from Greenland going to move to New York City? That's not really feasible. So, all right, let's get to the next one. And
Yes.
oldie but goodie. Doomsday clock at 3 minutes to midnight. Scientists cite global warming and nuclear weapons.
Yeah, you're right. That is a problem. That is an oldie but goodie, and the Despairometer is telling us that's a code brown. Everyone, a code brown.
Code brown. I'm going to have to go change my shorts. Okay, that's much better.
Feeling better, Kevin?
Yes, let's get back to the headlines, Gordon.
Please.
Climate change is driving wars, new study says.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Gordon, I wouldn't kid you about something as serious as this. What does the Despairometer tell us?
No, that is what the Despairometer says. You gotta be fucking kidding me. That's the reading.
Well, to tell you the truth, this has been going on for a while. I hate to break it to you. A lot of wars driven by climate change.
It's a new technology. We're still working on it.
All right, last one for now. The Southwest is burning. Wildfires rage amidst record-breaking heat waves.
These are all coming up pretty depressing, Kevin. I think maybe we need to work on the Despairometer, possibly change the calibration. Pardon me just a second.
All right, while Gordon works on the calibration, stay tuned for breaking new climate change news here on hashtag 15 years.
Goddamn machine.
All right.
And by the way, you missed your 15 years cue. Yeah, we don't have to do it every
No,
time.
that's fine.
Hey everyone, now's the time on hashtag 15 years being shot.
14 years.
14 years. Being shot, by the way, from this lovely undisclosed location. But now's the time on hashtag 15 years when we cover sports. Sports, you may ask, on a show about climate chaos. Well, that's right, but we only cover one team, the Chicago Cubs. And why is that, Kev?
Because climate change, mange, the real predictor of humanity's demise will be when the Cubs win the World Series for the first time since 1908.
Woohoo! Go Cubbies! So for that news, we're going to put on our Chicago Cubs hat, fresh from our props department. So Kevin, we've been seeing severe climate change impacts for the past several years, and at the same time, the Cubs have been building a strong roster from top to bottom. How are things looking in 2016?
They look like by far the best team in Major League Baseball. Great fielding, excellent pitching, great hitting, team cohesion, excellent leadership from the manager, Joe Madden.
Wow, it's a good update. And how did things go yesterday for the Cubs?
It was a tough one. Pitcher Jake Arrieta had won 20 games in a row going back to last year. Finally had that string broken. They lost 3-2 to the Arizona Diamondbacks. But they're still 9.5 games ahead of Pittsburgh, 10.5 ahead of their longtime nemesis, the St. Louis Cardinals. I think they'll be back on the winning way very soon.
Pretty good. So overall, what do you think of our chances of a Cubs World Championship in 2016?
Looking great for the Cubs, not so good for humanity.
Go
Go
Cubs.
Cubs.
All right. Well, in any event, that's Cubs Corner for this week. Check back with us for your favorite end of times team news next week on Cubs Corner. Thanks, everyone.
Hashtag 15 years. If it's about anything, it's about enjoying life with whatever time we have left, whether it's 15 or 14 or 50 or 500 years. And there's nothing more we enjoy than a fine glass of wine. Is there, Gordon?
No, there isn't. Why do you have to go to 500 years? We're not around 500 years. Okay, sorry. We have to try it one last time.
Okay. At hashtag 15 years, if it's about anything, it's about enjoying life and sharing what we can in whatever time we have left, whether it's 15 years or 14 years or 50 years, whatever. And there's nothing more that we enjoy than a fine glass of wine, right?
Here, here. In fact, we enjoy a fine glass of wine so much that this episode, this show, Blow Me Parker, was the first segment that we conceived of for hashtag 15 years. Robert Parker, of course, being the preeminent wine critic in the world today.
Who we often agree with, but sometimes we don't. And when we don't, we read a review of his, we say, Blow Me Parker.
Blow Me Parker.
When we have our own. Anyway, we've shot so many segments that now Blow Me Parker is its own show. And what does that mean, Gordon?
We are the first show ever to have developed the spin-off before the first episode of the original even went on the air. Remarkable.
So while we hope you'll enjoy hashtag 15 years, we also invite you to watch the full episode of Blow Me Parker.
And here are a couple of quick clips from that. Kevin?
Here we are in the banana belt of Seneca Lake in the Finger Lakes. Seneca Lake, the deepest and largest of the three main lakes in the wine country. Here at Atwater, where they make outstanding wines, whites and reds. So called the banana belt because it's just a tad warmer because the lake never freezes. So it's ideal for growing wine grapes.
Well, here are our first segment of Blow Me Parker. We are at the wonderful Lamoureux Landing Vineyards on beautiful Seneca Lake. We're with Kevin Butler.
Hello.
Who's been working here for how many years, Kevin?
About 4 years now.
4 years, excellent. You can see behind us. Do you want to tell us what we're looking at, Kevin? It is spectacular. And speaking of drinking, we are tasting what many consider the signature varietal of the Finger Lakes. And what would that be, Kevin?
That would be the dry Riesling.
It's fantastic. I think we should be toasting and having a sip while we're saying those
there
things
you
about
go.
Riesling.
And which one was this again?
This is the dry Riesling.
Okay, we'll edit that part out. Now it's time on Blow Me Parker to taste one of our favorites, a Lamoureux Landing Riesling from, where is it, Gordon?
Seneca, in the Lake Seneca in the Finger Lakes.
But we're not at Lake Seneca
Is this
now,
a Finger
are we?
Lake?
No,
It's not a Finger Lake? No.
You definitely get the minerality on the notes, the peach stone fruit, and on the taste, it's got a really nice body for a white wine. Long finish, the acidity comes to the front of your tongue and your front of your teeth. It's a little chewy. It's really substantive wine.
And add to that, we are very lucky to have here today the founder and proprietor of Shalestone Vineyards in the Finger Lakes, Mr. Rob Thomas.
But each year you learn something from the vines, and hopefully you teach the vines something, so that you develop this relationship so that you work together and you both stay in balance. I drink a lot of wine. They know good wine, but very few of them can describe it. And it's a real skill to develop of what you're smelling and what you're tasting and put words to it. And I think it's a fun thing to do, but you don't need to do it to enjoy wine. I want people to drink wine for what it is. It's a wonderful elixir for life that, you know, gets you to relax and talk about issues. If you're in relationships, you know, the whole guy-girl thing, like a wine kind of gets the guy to talk a little
lubricant.
bit.
Yeah.
The social lubricant,
Yeah,
indeed.
it really is. And oh yeah, it's good for romance too. Like, so, I mean, it's a good thing to be making.
Well, we really enjoyed that visit to Shalestone. They are making some incredible world-class reds in a region that's only really known for whites. What did you think of that visit with Rob, Gordon?
Fantastic time. I hope you enjoyed the interview as much as listening to the interview as much as we did giving
They actually
it.
watched it because
and
this is a
listening.
TV show. This is a web show. They just
So
listened.
they actually
They
saw it.
saw it.
You're
They
right.
saw
You're
the
right.
show.
Well, I'm not sure. To think that it comes from upstate New York. I mean, when I was growing up, upstate New York was like Taylor. It was like, sugary sweet wines. This is pretty close to perfection in a glass, don't you think?
Sure do. Again, we highly recommend going to the Finger Lakes. There's
Shale
dozens
stone.
of wineries. We didn't even scratch the surface in this special edition
That's
of
true.
Parker. We'd like to wrap up this special Finger Lakes edition of Hashtag 15.
14.
Hashtag 15 or 14 years. Special Finger Lakes edition in front of beautiful Seneca Lake with our humanity to-do list. If there really are only 15 or 14 years left, we need to get to this stuff right away. You may have your own to-do list. You can share it with us. Contact us here at Hashtag 15 years. We're no Twitter zone, though. No tweeting. End racism. Abolish nukes. All kinds of nukes. Justice for Palestine. Tibet. DC statehood.
Woo!
Healthcare for all here in the United States.
2 pages. Wow.
Elect the first women president. We're not sure if Hillary counts. Let us know what you think. Browns, Lions, Vikings, Bills, Eagles win Super Bowl. Go vegan, eat hospice meat. Close Gitmo, the whole base. Lose gut, that's for me.
Okay.
But tell us what you think here at Hashtag 15 of humanity's 15 or 14 year to-do list.
All right. Is that it? Yeah, the page blew back. That's it.
All right, sports fans, we have a treat today, a special live edition of Cubs Corner with my good friend Bill Simmons, who's not a Cubs fan, he's a Nats fan. We're just reporting on the Cubs as it relates to the end of the world. We're not pro or con. Well, Bill is down to the last strike for the Cubs, not looking good. That'll do it for Cubs Corner. Win for the Nationals. Yeah. So that means humanity, a good day for humanity, not so good for the Cubs. And that'll do it for this live edition of Cubs Corner. The Cubs fall to the Nats 4-1. A good day for humanity, not so good for the Cubs. And Hashtag 15 years, if there's anything that we like more than doing nothing. And why is it called Blow Me Parker, Gordon?
Well, as some people might not know, Robert Parker is the preeminent critic in the world of wine today. Yeah, I sort of lost my train of thought. I think the disparometer might be miscalibrated. There's something wrong here. We need to change expectations. Maybe if I work on this a little bit over here, then...
Yes, it's clearly the calibration. I think that's exactly what it is.
These are all coming up pretty depressing, Kevin. I think maybe we need to work on the disparometer, possibly change the calibration. Pardon me just a second.
All right, while Gordon works on the calibration, stay tuned for breaking new climate change news here on Hashtag 15 years.
Goddamn machine.
All right, that's good. You're just banging around wires back there. Good shot, good shot.